China's property market is the single biggest driver of growth in the country, but after a multi-year boom, we're now seeing signs of stress. Joining me now is Andy Chang from Fitch Ratings. Andy, thanks for joining us. This year we've seen sales dry up, prices fall, developers are cutting back. Just how bad is the state of the market at the moment?
Yeah, I think in first half of 2014, all the developers in China really faced a very difficult timing. I think if you see the sales number, you will notice that actually nationwide sales in first half of 2014 has already dropped by around like 10%. And then we believe that the reasons behind that is about tight liquidity and a negative sentiment. In the first half of 2014, most of banks tightened their lending policies. So most of like local and small developers has to discount their project price in order to receive liquidity.
So the developers have cut their prices, but now we're starting to see local governments step in to try and boost demand. Yep. They've taken all kinds of measures in different cities and different provinces. Which of those things do you think, which of those measures do you think is the most effective for boosting demand? Given
the current negative sentiment of housing buyers, we don't believe that this relaxation will really boost sales meaningfully in the very short term. And in the long term, the downside of this kind of loosening policies is that more and more speculation activities may be raised because of this kind of relaxation. Another downside of this loosening policy is that in first half of 2014, some of the smaller and uncompetitive developers has been forced out of the market. But because of these loosening policies, some of the bad developers may still survive, which will slow down the sector restructuring.
Does that mean that the underlying demand from property buyers, from homeowners, has sort of come out of the market now?
I mean, in the short term, we still think the potential housing buyers are more conservative, and they would like to wait for the further price discount. So we don't believe this kind of relaxation will really take effect in the very short term.
So looking further out, looking longer term, what do you think is the answer to China's housing problems of oversupply and affordability?
Actually, in addition to the relaxation of policies, China government also noticed these kind of problems. China government also would like to adopt more market-driven policies in order to fix the problem in the long term. For example, they want to control the size of mega cities in China, and they would like to direct more floating population to the inland cities or to the lower tier cities. So they want to balance out between the development of cities. However, the thing I have to stress is that this kind of policies takes a long time to really take effect. So before we really reach there, I think that we still have like bumpy road ahead.
So it's quite a gloomy picture. There are lots of global investors who've lent tens of billions of dollars to Chinese developers, whether through the bond market or through loan markets. Is there cause for concern for them about the current state of the market?
Not all the developers will survive all the difficulties they face. So the point is that whether you really do your homework, whether you have to do the very precise bottom-up analysis in order to know who are the good developers to survive these difficulties.
So it's a bumpy road, but it's not a crash landing?
Yeah, I don't think this is a crash landing.
Andy, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
And you can read more on this at ft.com/China.